Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, September 11th, 2020. Well, I guess that's the day we all remember. I really remembered it because during that summer, I was hiking the Oregon Trail. I hiked I walked the entire Oregon Trail with my dog Bobby. And the reason why I did was I had a bad month in trading. Let's call it about almost $1 million bad month. And after that month, well, this was in the summer, in the spring, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go search for myself, find out whether or not I'm going to keep trading or not. And I went and I walked, and I think it took me about 2.5 months. And I really, had a hard discussion with myself whether or not I wanted to keep trading or not. And I knew I liked to trade. I just realized I didn't know how to do it that well. And so I decided to take the summer off, hike the trail, think about what I was going to doing. I made the decision, yes, I'm going to keep trading, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to get educated, and I'm going to go pursue the people that I think would be good teachers. And that's what I did. But I got home from my hike. It was great to see my girlfriend. She was taking care of the house, and I got home September 10th, the night before, in 2001. And I remember I woke up in the morning and went, oh my gosh, I'm sure everybody else did too. So I remember that, and I said, well, I guess trading is going to be put off for a little while. But anyway, that was a horrible day. I certainly will remember it every single time. But yeah, that was a pivotal moment for me. But anyway, just kind of a off the subject story, but thought I'd share it with you, being that it's 9/11. So anyway, thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it. I hope you're all doing well. Interesting market today, as usual. The Dow is up 72 points. It's been all over the place. The NASDAQ was up. Now it's down 113 points, and the S&P is down 7.5 points. So interesting day. It's been very volatile. I was fairly sure it was going to be volatile after we had that big move down. Right about September 2nd. And it just, I remember looking at the futures last night, and the NASDAQ was up huge. I was like, oh my gosh, I was surprised, but here we are again down. So anyway, thank you all for coming. I really do look forward to seeing everyone every day. I'm very, very grateful for this group. I think we have great participants, great input, great information, great poems, all sorts of good stuff. So let's take a look and see who's here. Dan is here. Happy Friday, Greg and everyone. Hello, Dan. Good to see you. John says, hey, Greg and all, wondering if CIEN is worth a look today. I'll tell you what, before I get to those, let me just do the rundown. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. After that, we are going to take a look at a few day trades that I had. We'll see how I did there. After that, we're going to go over the board and take a look at your positions, seeing how they're doing. After that, we are going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. Most important skill in trading, everybody. Without a doubt in my mind, the longer I do this, the more I realize it's true. And then after that, we are going to take a look. I've gone down through my watch list. I've gone down through Kamal's results of his scanner, and we're going to take a look at those and see if anything qualifies. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a trade. First requirement, have to look for a combination confluence of indicators. Second, have to make sure I have a good risk to reward, at least 2 to 1. And number 3, keep in mind, please be careful and take a few moments and look at your positions and see if you're heavily correlated in any one industry. It's a good idea to be diversified in your portfolio. It really, really is. It's a good idea to be diversified in your trading approaches. So those are my 3 requirements. I'm going to go down through the watch list. If something looks good, I'll put it over to the left. If it doesn't look good, I'll put it over to the right. And then the ones that qualify and look decent, at the end of the day, I'll go through with a fine-tooth comb. And if something looks good and qualifies at the end of the day, I'll go ahead and place the trade. After the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. Happy to clarify anything. If you have any stock symbols that you'd like me to look at, please put them in the chat, put emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive. I'll do my best to get to them before the close of the market. And then after the close, if you have any new positions, new entries or exits, please let me know, but please wait till the end. So I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, pressure's off, and then we'll get those all taken care of. All right. So I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and then John, I'll come right back and we'll take a look at a CIEN. So hold tight. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, sorry I was a little late today. It was such a beautiful day. I was just outside, just looking at the mountains and just taking it in, and I must have gone into some kind of fugue state because 5 minutes went by. I didn't even realize it was just so beautiful. All right, John, let's take a look at, what do we want to look at? CIEN. CIEN. You know, for me, John, no. I mean, I have a hard and fast rule. If something's under the 30 RSI, it's just, I can't even consider buying it. You know, the buyers come in at the 30, kind of the buyers of last resort. And if they can't hold it up, it is a bad sign. This chart is broken. I mean, look at this gap. 3 days later, we still weren't even able to come above the high of this gap. I would be very careful with this stock. But no, I mean, it's up today, which is good, but I would not be interested in this the way that I trade. Miko is here. Hey, Miko, good to see you. Good afternoon, Greg and all. Hello, Miko. Hope you're doing well. William Green. Hello, Greg. Hello, team. Hope all of you are doing well today. Thank you very, very much, William, for the kind words. I hope you are as well. Bob is here. Hi, Bob. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Brian M. is here. Hey, Brian. Good to see you, my friend. Hello, everyone. Greg, I did receive an average profit of $1 on the stocks I sold yesterday, but I put in stops that is truly a safe haven. I did that for Twillo today as well, so I had a gain today as well. Oh, very good. Let's see. Oh, okay. So you got out of Twillo earlier. Okay, fantastic. Johan is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Good lesson the other night, and good chatting with you today. And Kamal, good chatting with you today as always. Kamal is like my trading partner during the day, and I make him aware of my trades, and we trade notes, and I appreciate Kamal's friendship for sure. Stephen Burns, hello, my friend. Good to see the great Stephen Burns. Thank you so much for including me on your Twitter post today. I always appreciate that. I really do. And if I had a Twitter list out there, you would always be at the top of the list every day, without a doubt, or every time I put it, without a doubt. So, if some of you have not been over to Steve's website, newtraderu.com, he has great courses over there. Of course, he has wonderful books. I read all of his book. Well, not all of them. I read many of his books many times, and I finally reached out to him years ago and said, Steve, could I get some one-on-one lessons? And he said, no, I don't do that. And I begged and I pleaded and I bribed. No, I didn't bribe. I begged and I pleaded and I said, please. And he said, you know what? You seem serious. And he took me on. And I'm forever grateful for that, Steve. I've learned so many things from you. Frank is here. Hello, Frank. Good to see you, bud. Oh, I have Frank's link for the new single that he put out. So I'll share that in a minute. Really good stuff. And thanks for sending me that. Frank Williams says, it's interesting how many boating terms apply to stock chart behavior, i.e. choppy or wave or flat. That's true. I think William told me you were like the harbor master or the marina master, so that makes sense that you would say that. William, good PM. What are your thoughts on international paper? Okay, William, I'm not sure what the symbol is, so if you could give me the symbol, I will take a look. But thanks for coming, William. Frank has a poem. If you ever want to throw in the towel, get angry and cry foul. It's okay. Often it's a setback that helps traders find their way. Words are easy to say, but having to pay puts your process and rules on display. Oh, very good. Let me try that again. If you ever want to throw in the towel, get angry and cry foul. It's okay. Often it's a setback that helps traders find their way. Words are easy to say, but having to pay puts your process and rules on display. You know, it's so good. And, you know, I think what Frank's trying to say here is that, you know, when you're about to throw in the towel, that's when you take a really hard look at yourself and your trading process. And that's the time that you make the most positive changes. I have found when things are going great, why would you want to change your process, right? Why fix it if it's not broken? But when it's broken, that's when you do some serious thinking. Just like I was telling you when I hiked the coast of Oregon. I mean, boy, did I spend time looking inward, how I'd been trading. And the long and short of it was, I really don't know what I'm doing. I got lucky at first. I really don't know what I'm doing. So that poem is extremely apropos to my real life story. David is here. Hey, David, good to see you, bud. How's the shoulder doing? Is it doing okay? William says IP. Well, it's up today nicely. It's above the 1 ATR channel. So for me, William, it's a little high for me to buy. I mean, this is strong. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly looks pretty good too. I just have a rule though, William, that if it's above the green 1 ATR channel, I can't buy it because it skews the risk to reward. Well, I should say I can't buy it unless it's a crossover. If it's a crossover, a valid crossover, I can buy it up to the second ATR channel. But this is already under a crossover. It is strong. It's up today, which is good. But for me, the way that I trade, this is a little too high for me to enter. I always want to make sure where I enter, it gives me a really good risk to reward ratio. So that being said, this is not the kind of trade that I would take. David says, I had surgery 2 weeks ago, recovering well so far. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm glad to hear it. And you're probably doing physical therapy. Maybe not so early, but we'll have to catch up on Skype one night. I'd like to hear about how things are going in your trading and your shoulder. Okay, how are we doing on time? So let's get started. And let's start off with SPY. All right, as everybody knows, I do buy SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I do this based upon the results of a long-term back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders. She's at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. This back test has been going on since 1993. Two approaches here. First approach, buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell it at the close. If you did this every day since 1993, you've actually returned a negative 13.9% return for your troubles. However, to do the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk. That's where I filled the edges in this system. Sell it first thing the next morning. The gain would have been 634.2%. So big difference between a negative 13.9 and a positive 634.2. What this really shows you is that all the gains in the U.S. stock market since 1993 have not come during the day. They have come in the overnight session. Pretty crazy when you think about it. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. That's true. Just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to continue. But if I'm going to allocate money towards something, it's going to be towards something that has good back-tested results. Blue line, buy in the afternoon, sell the morning. Orange line, buy the morning, sell the afternoon. Not even close. The blue line over time has just gone up and up and up. But there are significant drawdowns here. So if you're going to if you're considering using this approach, make sure that you position size conservatively, something that's sustainable. What I do is I take my maximum allowed loss on any trade, and I divide it by the value of the two ATRs. That tells me how many shares I can buy. So I think it's a great approach. It goes in spurts, way up, down, way up, right? But it's just like me owning the S&P 500 like everyone else does, but I only own it in the nighttime, not during the daytime, because the nighttime statistically is where the gains came from. So, okay, that being said, I did buy the SPY yesterday at the close at 333.89 and sold it for a nice profit up here on the gap at 335.79. Is that? Oh, 89 to 79. Yeah. So almost $3. Almost $3 overnight, and then it's rejected that. So anyway, very happy with that. I will buy that again today at the close. All right, Kamal, Johan, Dan, Yas, Quad, and myself. This was a good signal. This was a return to value, sideways motion, V2, bought at 25.19. Initially, the next day went right on up perfectly, but then reversed back down, which I didn't like, but it was holding my stop. Today, we were also up and then came down. You see the big bar that we had yesterday? Do you see how the high of today got rejected at the 50 Fibonacci number there? So three bad things. One, we took the trade, had a V1. Second bad thing, went up, tested the halfway, the 50 Fibonacci retracement of yesterday's bar, rejected it. And number three, these kind of trades, when you get pullbacks, nice sideways motion, V1s, these should take off almost right away. And if they don't, there's been back-tested studies done by Kerry Lavorne, who taught me this approach, that says if within a couple days it's not working, it's a bad sign. So 25.19, it's at 24.91. It's up a little bit today. I mean, it's a small loss, but personally, I am going to take this off today. I don't like it anymore, unless we have some major recovery at the end of the day, but I will be selling this and taking a small loss here. All right, those were the only positions I had. My swing trades. Let's go to my day trades. Got up this morning, saw this right here. We're above the 1 ATR channel. We came into the value zone. We had 2 days of sideways motion. We had a nice washout of the previous lows. We had a V1. We had a washout of the negative 1 ATR channel. Bought it here at 271.93. Next bar took right off for me, rejected the 50 RSI, so I got out of half at 273.08. Had not gone up to my 1.5 ATR yet. Went up a little bit more, came back down. Then it rallied up again, which was good because I still had half the position here. We finally got to my 1.5 ATR level, which means I start trailing the stop. Two things happened on this bar. I had a close below the previous day's low, and I lost the 50-day moving average. So I got out of all of it here. So I got in at 271.93. I got out of half at 273.08, and I got out of half at 273.38. So let me take those off the board. So that was a positive one. Lots of different trades today. Then had an under 30, over 30, and a V1, rejection of the negative third ATR channel. I bought, let's see, I'm a little confused now. I know I lost on this trade. I think I bought here at 268.40. Yeah, that's right. I bought here at 268.40 at the close. Next bar held, next bar closed back under the 30. So that was my stop. So I got in at 268.40 and I got out at 268.30. So I lost 30 cents on that particular trade. And then I decided to take another crack at it, another under 30, over 30, V2, rejection of the negative third ATR channel, got in at 268.10. Immediately went my way. It was looking really good. It got up to where my trailing stop comes into place. Just got it, just perfect. Whenever that happens, if it comes back to my entry, I have to get out of the trade. And that's exactly what I did. So I got in at 268.10, moved up high enough for me to institute a trailing stop. I got out intrabar just at break even. So this is a good example of, not every trade has to be a winner or loser. Sometimes they can be break evens, and so that was a break even. So I had a nice win, I had a loss, I had a break even. So good, a nice variety of entries. Okay. Too many trades here. All right. Now, I took a really nice short on Apple here at 113.14. You can see I had a V1. I rejected the 50-day moving average. I also rejected that previous high. So it's a false breakout to the downside with the V1 and a rejection of the 50. So I shorted here at 113.49. Just went down, 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 down. Never had a close above the previous bar's high until here. So shorted at 113.49, covered half at 112.08. Then it kept moving down, kept moving down, kept moving down. This bar here made it look like we were getting close to the low. So after it went down and came all the way back, I got out of the other half here. So short at 113.49, got out of half at 112.08, got out of the other half at 111.22. So that was a really good trade. And was that the bottom? No, it was not. It was not. But anyway, still a good trade. Lastly, here's a trade on Intel. Nice V1, false breakout to the downside. I got in at 49.83 right here. Next bar, closed below halfway. The washout bar had to take a loss at 49.75. So I bought at 49.83. I got out at 49.75. So, that's the key. You've seen my losses there were bigger than my wins, and that's what's important. Keep those losses small when you're right, because you're not always going to be right. Okay, lastly, real quick, just to remind, I did sell puts on Apple down here at 77.50. On the monthly, I like the 77.50 mark because it is the top of the 1 ATR channel and the 20-month moving average, and we should have support at this previous high. On the weekly, we have support at the 50-week moving average. That should also add some support. And on the daily, that 77.50 price also has support of the 250. So that one's nicely in the money. I just basically, in order for me to make the money on this, I need it to close above 77.50, and it's 111.69. So I have a lot of protection there expiring November 20th. And then I also did sell some puts today on Intel. I used the quarter, the monthly, and the weekly to identify my level. I sold puts here at 45 even. It's 49.33. So on the quarterly, right back in the value zone. It is a little bit above that 20 quarter moving average, but that's 1 point of reference. On the monthly, that $45 lines up really nice with the 50-month moving average and the negative 1 ATR channel. And on the weekly, I have the 200-week moving average. So this one's underwater a little bit, but I do have about 10% protection. Oh, it's not underwater on it very much right now, so that's good. That's really good. So anyway, those are my trades. Those are my trades. Now, let's take a look. How are we doing on time? Okay, this is a good time to do that. So hopefully YouTube will let me put this in. Okay, here we go. Let's see if YouTube will let me. Did it let me? It did. There's the link to Frank's new song that he released on iTunes. So take a listen to it. I think it's really good. I appreciate the effort there, Frank, for putting together a song. I mean, Frank just has a lot of skills: trading, poems, writing, songwriting, musician, and he did pick the winner of the Kentucky Derby, so horse handicapper as well. Okay. David says, thanks, Johan and Kamal. Steve says, NKLA may be the most dangerous chart right now. Crazy whipsaw after accusations of fraud. Oh, that's not good. NKLA. Oh my gosh. Down 17% today. Whew, somebody bought it here at 53 3 days ago. Thought it was a good deal. Now it's down 16 points. Boy, unbelievable, Steve, huh? Kamal says, Greg, need Frank's link. Okay, I just put it down in there. I put the link in there, Kamal. Frank says, thinking healing thoughts for you, David. That's nice, Frank. Thank you. Kamal says, Frank, what is your YouTube channel? David says, thanks, Frank. I think I found it. National Nervous Breakdown. Yes. Gary is here. Hey, Gary, good to see you, bud. Frank says, Kamal, look under National Nervous Breakdown on iTunes. And I put the link. Steve says, about 70% of my watch list is now under short-term moving average cross unders. A lot of results, but no signals today so far. Yeah, I haven't seen much either. Steve says, or Kamal says, waiting for the next juicy pitch with no strike rule. That's right. Yep. That's Warren Buffett. No strike rule in the market. You can wait and just wait for that perfect pitch to come across. William says, I've been trading for 1 year in individual stock. Can please explain what the different colored lines you use? Red line saying moving average. Okay, so William, I have in my YouTube channel, I have a video in there. It's free. It's in the lessons playlist, and it talks about the indicators that I use, every single indicator that I use on my chart. So I don't have time right now, because the market closes in a half hour. I don't have time to really go through that. But if you go to my YouTube channel in the lessons playlist, you will see, I think it's called What Chart Indicators Do I Use? And it's about an hour, and I go through in detail, take my time, and show you exactly what each line is. So I hope that helps. And you can create the charts you can create your charts exactly like mine if you watch that video, but it's in my YouTube channel. Frank says, Frank, really cool rockabilly song. I'm the first thumbs up. Absolutely. Okay. Let's go through here. So Quad Racer bought WDC at 35.22. Nice move up. Come back down a little into the value zone and up 3.37% today. So that's nice. That's fantastic. So nice going there. Quad, EVRG. Quad bought EVRG at 52.90. It's at 52.80. So that one's a little underwater, but it is up today. GDXJ, which is the junior gold miners, YAS bought at 58.35. It's been up most of the trade. Right now it's down today, but it's right about even for YAS. Gold, Gary bought gold at 184.40. Right here, went up, went down, had the cross under, the 520 cross under, been up and down. So a little down today and definitely down on the trade for Gary and Dan. VIPS is Carol and Yas. I think Carol's out. That's right. I think Carol's out of this. So we'll take ours. So I still have Yas. They bought at 1751 right now at 1641 underneath the 200 and also down 1.2% today. Twillo, Brian told us about Twillo. He got out with that $1 stop. So glad to hear that. So I'm going to take that one off, Brian, because I know you're out of there. Intel. Bob has Intel back here from 49.22, finally back in the money at 49.44, is up nicely today. And again, I did sell puts on Intel down to $45. IAU, Frank bought IAU at 1865. That's gold as well. Up, and down a little bit today. FCFS, Bob bought FCFS. Long-term trade here, 58.10, had a nice move up. It's been up and down, but the last couple days have been down pretty strong, but he's still up on the trade. So let me know if there's any change there. DGX, Yas bought DGX at 109.04. Nice move up. Today was down lower, reverse back up, so positive on the trade, positive holding the 200-day moving average. And Alibaba, Gary sold puts on Alibaba. He sold the spreads of 240 to 235, meaning he sold puts at 340. He bought puts at 235. As long as it stays above 240 on the day before the expiration, which is September 18th, he will make all the money on his credit spread. So this one's looking really, really good. Okay, let me take a little quick look-see over here. Okay. All right, that's that. Okay. So listen, before we start going down through the watch list and taking, looking for a new potential end of day trade today, let's just quickly switch gears and talk about some good trading tips, talk about some good trading psychology, good trading words of wisdom. Of course, my all-time favorite poster is our good friend Steve Burns. This is Steve Burns over on Twitter. And he's also in the New Traders, Rich Traders group. If you have not applied over at that channel, come on over. There's some good traders, really serious people over there, like Steve, Tom Basso, Kamal, myself. But let's see what Steve has to say. Two of the biggest fundamentals few new traders consider are volatility and liquidity. They can make or break a system. And this is so true. You hear a lot about stops, you hear a lot about entries, you hear about a lot of indicators, but really when it comes down to it, everybody, in my opinion, honestly, taking a look and I lost the word there, but factoring in volatility on your trade right before you take the trade is extremely important. What does that mean? Factoring in volatility. It means how much have the bars moved? Are they going sideways? Is there not a lot of volatility? Are they going down big or going up big? If volatility increases, you have to adjust for it, right? The larger the volatility, the smaller your position size should be. The lower the volatility, the larger your position size can be. But I rarely hear people talk about adjusting for volatility. In other words, when I say, considering volatility, what that really means is position size. It really comes down to position size. So the higher the volatility, the lower your position size. If you're used to buying 100 shares of something and then volatility increases by twice, it's like you're trading 200 shares instead of 100 shares. If you're used to trading 100 shares and volatility increases double, you should be trading 50 shares, right? Because then it's even, then it's the same. So I have videos in my lesson playlist on YouTube that talk specifically about how to adjust your position size based upon volatility. And it's extremely important. It's 100%. You just don't hear people talk about it. And secondly, liquidity. There's a lot of new traders. They try to buy, low price stocks, dollar stocks, $3 stocks, $5 stocks, $10 stocks. And because they feel like they can buy more, and they can buy more shares with lower amount of money, but it doesn't really matter. But make sure the stocks that you trade have enough liquidity. Make sure you don't have large bid-ask spreads. I mean, if you have a 10 cent bid-ask spread and you buy at the market and then sell at the market, you've lost 20 cents. So, in my opinion, you're better buying big stocks where you buy fewer amount of shares, but you have a very small bid-ask spread, like a penny or two, right? So keep in mind, you have to adjust your position size based upon volatility, and you have to make sure that the stocks you're trading are liquid so that you can get out quickly without having all the expense of the bid-ask spread. And also, stocks that are illiquid can move really hard one way or the other. So good advice, Steve. And I mean, you're preaching to the choir here, because in my opinion, the most important thing above all is position sizing based upon volatility. All right, what's our fun market doing now? Dow's up 161, Nasdaq's down 65, so that's come back a bit, and the S&P is green, so that's good. Oh, and Frank, I did it again. Frank bought Apple, average price of 113. It's 111.74, so down about $1.25. Frank says I will hold Apple till 110. Okay, good. That's a plan, right? That's all we need is a plan. Very good. We're going to hold you to it, Frank. Yes says I am also out of VIPs. Okay. All right. Well, the board is getting smaller, and I'm kind of glad to see that. I'm kind of glad to see the board getting smaller as stocks are down. That's a good sign. You're weeding out. You're taking out the weeds, the losers in your garden. That's exactly what we should do. Carol, hi Carol. Good to see you. I'm looking forward to our lesson tomorrow night. Okay, I did take you out of VIPs because I remember you told me the other day that you're out of everything. But good hearing from you, Carol, and I'm looking forward to our lesson. Johan says Honeywell. I think that's H-O-N. Yeah, Honeywell. Okay, so I see what you're seeing here, right? We came back into the value zone. We did hold sideways for 2 days, and we do have a V2. There's no doubt about it. But here's the thing. I always feel like I always have to rain on everybody's parade. But, the highest return to value V1 or V2 that I'm going to take, Johan, is at the 1 ATR channel. And you say, well, it is underneath the 1 ATR channel now. It is, but it was above the 1 ATR channel earlier. So it's a decent setup, but if I want to be real precise here. If I have a return to value sideways motion, yes, you could take it. There's no doubt. It's above the 50 RSI. The only thing that I don't like about it, it's rejected the 1 ATR channel. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly, last week we had a V1. This is getting pretty close to halfway. Me personally, I wouldn't take it because it's really close to that 1 ATR channel, which scares me off a little bit. And two, it already was above the 1 ATR channel and closed below. If it were to close above, I would like that better. It would be even higher, but I would like it better because now that 1 ATR channel is resistance above. But I mean, technically it's okay. It does offer a good risk to reward ratio. The risk would be here about halfway of the washout bar, but I just don't like that the last 3 bars have rejected the 1 ATR channel. This is rejected, this is rejected, this is rejected, and this is rejected. Do you see that? Frank says, when people say bull market, they leave out the part that a trader will be riding in a rodeo. That's true. Glenn says, hi, Greg. SPY is on a sell signal from the 10th of September from yesterday with the 520 cross under. That's true. And MACD is negative. Yes, that's true. Last time this happened was February 24th. We know what followed. Yes, we certainly do. On the plus side, we do have a V1 and we bounced off the negative 50-day moving average. So kind of some mixed signals, but I wouldn't, and it's a false breakout to the downside. So yeah, it's a mixed message here. And I don't like yesterday's big bar either. Glenn says, let's hope the market follows the previous two sell signals on January 1st and October 1st. When the market turned around a week later, we need to see a close above 3,400 for confirmation. What are we at now? 33.43. Me personally, we are below the -1 ATR channel. I'd like to see this rally into the value zone. If it does, the people that bought here will probably sell here. That will drive it back down. I am looking for, on a lot of these stocks, I'm looking for a higher low V1 or V2. I'm not saying it can't bounce here, but I think that bounce is going to be short-lived. I'd like to see it go up, get sold into, come back down, make a higher low, and get a V1, V2. That's your safest spot for the possibility of turning into an actual re-uptrend. Frank says, for the record, I did position size Apple to my comfort zone. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Okie dokie. How are we doing on time? All right. Let me check something real quick. Okay. All right, let's take a look here at a couple entries today. So this came off a Kamal scanner. Oh, Quad Racer is already in Western Digital. Let's see, we had a return to value, V1, no sideways motion. Nice big up bar today, but I don't see a crossover. It wasn't a valid V1 or V2, so I really don't see anything here. And it's a 49.26 that already rejected the 50-day moving 50 RSI. So I'm going to put that one over here. Where is my favorite one today? Where's my favorite setup? I think I accidentally erased it. Oh man. Kamal, can you help me? What's the SFM. Sprouts Market. Oh, it's already on here? Come on, Greg. Okay. Sprouts Farmers Market. Did we go under 30 today? I believe we did. Yeah. So we went under the 30, over 30. We rejected the -30 ATR channel. We're stuck right at about at the halfway of yesterday's halfway bar. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly's under the 200. You know, I liked this earlier when I looked at it. Now I don't like it as much. I think what I'm going to do with this, I think I'm just going to wait for a under the 200, over the 200 for double confirmation. That yesterday's bar scares me with the big down bar, and now we can't get above halfway. That's kind of a bad sign. It is good that we went under 30 and over 30. It is good that we rejected the -30 ATR channel. It is good that we had a V1, but looking at the weekly chart, I don't like that we've lost the -1 ATR channel and we've lost the 200-day moving average. So I liked this earlier in the day when I looked at it, but now I don't like it so much. EVRG, Quad already has that. It's a higher low V1, but that washout is not good at all. GDXJ was also on there. I'm not sure why that one was on there. I don't like that. Gold. Don't like gold either. DGX, yes, has DGX. Was a higher low V1 earlier, but no, I don't like that. Johnson & Johnson. Is Bob still in Johnson & Johnson? Under the 50, over the 50. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that either. Oh, man. All right. I know what's going on. I was looking at the wrong list. Oh, gosh, sorry. That's why I couldn't find Sprouts Fresh Market. Okay, again, I don't like it. It can't get above halfway. That bar was big yesterday. I'd rather an under 200 over 200. No wonder everybody had. Okay, Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin's interesting. We have a V2. We have a rejection of the 200-day moving average. We're over 50 RSI. Let's look over on the weekly. On the weekly, we're right half of the big. See, last week's down bar is big, and we've rallied right back to the halfway mark. That concerns me. And that halfway mark is about right here. So that being said, I don't like it. It's up nicely today for sure. LKQ, false breakout to the downside, V2, but we have a monster gap, so no, I don't like that. HEI, false breakout to the downside with a V1 and kind of a V2. That one's okay. Holding the 1 ATR channel up on the weekly. Only 1 day of sideways motion, really. It's okay, but I'm going to pass. AX, under 200, over 200, and a V2. Let's look over on the weekly. Pull back into the value zone. 442,000 shares traded. Let me look at some intraday charts and take a look. Looks like it rejected the 50 RSI also and the -1 ATR channel. So no. L, false breakout to the downside, V1. Yeah, I just don't see anything here, to be honest with you, that I really like. Backs, no. SO, false breakout to the downside and a V1. Double bottom with the bullish divergence. You know, we look at yesterday's bar. Yesterday's bar looks pretty small, but it's really not. See the day before, see the close? The bar is actually from here all the way down to here. It looks small, but you have to go from the previous day's close. Here's the close. So this bar is this big. So it's a monster bar to take a V1 or V2 in front of. I mean, I like that it's a V1. I like that we have a false breakout to the downside. I like the double bottom with the bullish divergence. In the weekly, I like that it's holding the value zone. The monthly, we're in the value zone. So far, that's the best one I can see so far. AT&T, no, not much going on there. Boeing, really not much going on there either. It's a V1, a little bit of a false breakout, but no double bottoms, bullish divergences, anything like that. LXFR, ooh, no, I don't like that. XLE, under 30, over 30, but it's not, and that's all it is. I mean, energy has been so weak. I don't see any double bottoms, bullish divergences. And VWM, close over the 200. I don't know how that back test under 200, over 200. I'm very aware. Honestly, what I like the best is SO, which is Southern Company, utility company. Because of this double bottom, bullish divergence, V1, although it is in front of a large bar, but we have other factors here. Double bottom, bullish divergence, V1, rejection of the 1 ATR channel. Weekly is above the -1 ATR channel, and MACD is positive, and the monthly is right in the value zone. Yeah, that's my favorite one on the day, actually. So let me do some quick numbers. All right, so I am going to be getting out of silver today, taking a small loss. Again, we had a beautiful setup. It went up, came back down, created a V1, which is not good. Today, attempt to rally again. We got denied by half of yesterday's retracement back up to halfway. The washout bar also got rejected. Just a personal preference of mine here. Of course, this would be the initial stop with close below halfway, the washout bar. It is holding the 50, which is positive, but again, this might just take off, and I hope it does for those of you that keep it. But these V2s should take off in a couple days, and if they don't, and we've had 2 days of go up, down, so I am going to go ahead and get rid of silver right now. Okay, I'm getting rid of it there. I'm also getting rid of it over here. I'm laughing at myself for going through this list thinking they were the potentials for today. I'm like, why does everyone already have these positions? All right, so SO is the one I'm going to be looking at. So I don't have a lot of positions. I got out of silver. The Qs were my was an intraday trade. Uh-oh, what happened? All right, so I'm going to get rid of the Qs. All right, Apple I sold puts on, Intel I sold puts on. Silver I sold, so I am out of silver. I will be buying SPY at the end of the day, and I am considering buying Southern Company here. Let's see how it closes. Let's see how we're doing intraday. That's looking better. All right, so we have 5 minutes. So very likely I am going to buy Southern Company here today. All right, USO. Yeah, we talked about this. This is where we have the confluence of the under 30, over 30, and under the 100 and over the 100. Right now, it is 1 penny over the 100. Oil is tough to trade, but we did go under 30, over 30, and under the 100, and maybe over, under the 30 and back over the 30, and maybe back over the 100, which it is now by a penny. Weekly. You know what? It's hard to trade oil, but that signal is so rare. I might consider buying that. All right. So let me put USO up there. Yeah, these are very tough to buy. No doubt about it, because they look super scary, and they are scary. I do like that we had a gap and we were able to bounce and go over the high of that gap initially. So now we're 2 cents over. Yeah, I would consider that one for sure. Frank says, I like the confirmation on Sprouts. Yep. I don't think it quite got there, at least not on my chart. Kamal says, SPY, false breakout to the downside, test of the 50 V1. Yep. Yeah, I just talked about that. It's decent. It's decent too. That big bar yesterday scares me, and the volume, the up volume is not very high compared to the down volume yesterday. Glenn says VIX is down 10% today. NOC. Yeah, the military stocks, the defense stocks have been pretty good today. Yeah, that's not bad either. It's not bad either. Question is, what's your risk? Is it the 200? It's a little bit down there. I think I'm going to stay away from that. But good eye, Evan. Frank says September is one tough month to trade. Yes, it is. Glenn says LRCX still falling. Good you did not take that trade. Oh, yeah. I remember that yesterday. I wanted to see it go under the 2. Yeah. So now, if we could go back up and get a V2 with the false break out to the downside, with the false break the 200, that's kind of what I was talking about yesterday. I'll tell you what, I like oil the best. Oil's a tough one to trade, but it is up today. We had this big down day, and then we rallied after that. I like this entry a lot better than this entry because this was more a bounce. This is more of a higher low. But again, it's going to have to close over 27.05 for me to get interested. So that's the one. That's the one. I'm not gonna buy. So 1 minute. Let's see. So I did sell silver. I am out of silver. I am not buying SO. And I may buy USO if we close over 27.05. You know what? I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy anything today. I'm not going to buy anything today except for the SPY. So no, I'm not buying anything. I did not buy SO. I did not buy oil, and I did sell silver. So the market's closed. The only thing I bought was the only thing I bought today was the SPY. It's a volatile market. I think at the end there I was trying to make the chart fit, and realized that that's what I was trying to do. All right, so I did buy S&P. Yeah, it ended up 1 penny. How about that? So I bought the S&P at 334.06, and that's it. I did get rid of silver. And so no new trades to me. Well, I did sell some put. Oh, shoot. I did sell puts on, oh man. I did sell puts on Intel today. So I sold puts down to $45, and I did not buy USO either. All right. So I have overnight SPY position, sold puts on Apple down to 77.50. I think that was yesterday or the day before. And then I sold puts on Intel. So that's it. So the only real kind of tradey position I have is SPY. Wow, what a week. What a week. So the Dow ended up 130, NASDAQ was down 66, and the S&P up 1.72. So listen, if you have any questions, if there's anything that I can help clarify, this is a great time to put it in the chat, and we can spend some time on it. If you have any new positions, any subtractions or additions, please just put them in the chat and put them in the chat, and I'll go through them and I'll get them all updated so everybody is correct and has the correct position up on the board. But before I do, just real quick, just my daily plug, just to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I have been trading for over 24 years. I've studied with some of the great traders and authors out there. I've studied with them one-on-one, which I think is the best way to learn from people, and that's Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Carrie Lavorne, and Larry Williams. And so the course that I teach, I incorporate everything I've learned from these four gentlemen, and I put it into one course. The course is 15 hours, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours, so it's long course, it's long form, and one-on-one, I think that's the best way to learn. And if you decide you want to take the lessons, it's pretty strenuous. I ask a lot of questions, it's a lot of time, but if you're going to learn something, that's what it takes. You have to put in the reps, right? Patience and repetition. That's what I think Carol said one day to me, that patience and repetition is what helps with learning something, and it's true. You have to have a teacher that's patient, and you have to do a lot of repetition. So if you're interested in taking the course, it's $1,000. I think it's worth every penny. I think it's worth more really for really what you get, in the one-on-one. And so, how I like to start it, if you're interested, reach out to me. You can send me a message on Twitter, or you can send me, which is @Gossett Trading. You can also send me an email. Email's in the description of this video. And if you reach out to me, I'll reply and say, hey, how's it going? Let's set up a Skype call. Skype call's free. There's no sales pressure. I'm not going to ask you if you want to take the course. When we're done talking, I'm just going to say, great, nice speaking to you. Think about it. If you want to take the course, you know how to reach me. You can email me back and we'll set it up. But in that call, I just like to learn more about you, what your experience has been, what your challenges are, what your goals are. And then it's a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. So if you've been thinking about it, pick up that phone. No, don't pick up the phone. Email me or send me a message on Twitter, and we'll set up the Skype call. Plus, it will be fun to meet you in person, right? And then secondly, if you like today's podcast, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. Helps grow the channel, helps keep the channel around, helps YouTube know that there's some valuable content. And so if you like the content today, I would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button before you get out of here. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see, how did everything end up here? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay, Kamal has USO. All right. I had a call with Kamal last night, and you know how great his scanner is? Well, he's working on right now some different systems, some automated systems. I was blown away last night. I mean, we all know Kamal is a tech wizard, coding genius, but when I had that call with him last night, what he's putting together and how he's been building this, first it was just talking about ideas. Secondly, it was, talking about coding things up and how to do that and how to backtest. He's done that. He built the scanner. Now he's building, ultimately he's building an automatic approach that can trade intraday with all the backtest, and ultimately automatic. He can sit back and watch Three's Company while his system's working. So pretty dang cool. Okay, so I don't. So that's Kamal. And what else? SSO. Interesting. Good. I can see the case for SSO. I mean, it's an index. It's a rejection of the 50 EMA. It's a rejection of the 50 SMA. It's a V1 and a false breakout to the downside. Makes total sense. And that's double leverage SPY. Let's take a quick look over at the weekly and see what's happening. Well, it held the 10-week moving average still above. I could see that being a good trade. Of course, I took the overnight SPY trade, right? I mean, a little different setup, but I wouldn't take the SSO and the overnight SPY trade because they're exactly the same thing. Look, the way I see this is either going to go bounce up or it's going to go down. Right? Do I have my bases covered there? All right, Johan, you got out of silver. Well, it was a small loss, but I just did not like how it was performing. These return to values, V1s, V2s, they should take off and not look back. But it did take off, reversed with the V1. Today, tried to go up again, got denied at that halfway, back down. So that's kind of a bad sign to me. Gary says, thanks as always, Greg and group. Nothing new here. Hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks, Gary. Hope you're having a great weekend as well, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Evans is in NOC. Okay. Yeah, the defense stocks were strong today, weren't they? Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, 340.03. Okay, got you down there, Evan. Good luck on that, bud. David says, thanks, Greg. Good weekend for all. Thank you, David. Glad to hear about the shoulder. Hope you're recovering, and we should do a Skype call soon. And I'd like to catch up with you. David's a former student of mine, and I like to stay in touch with my students, see how they're doing. You know, I spend 15 hours with them or more on the lessons, so you know, they're like my friends. You know, I get to know them very well. Frank says Kamal is wonderful. He is no doubt wonderful, Frank. Unbelievable. I mean, if you saw last night, I mean, you know, this was all conceptual and now it's actually real. But Kamal has the chops, you know, he has the coding chops, which is what you need. Evan says, I forgot today was Friday. Oh, did it mess you up with the Monday off? That's probably what happened, huh? Dan says, Kamal reminds me of your Lex Luthor, but good instead of evil and only improving. Hats off to you, Kamal. Lex Luthor was from Superman, right? Like the evil genius. Kamal is definitely not evil. He's the opposite of evil. He's like a brilliant savant. No, savant sounds bad, right? He's a mensch, just a great person, just so smart. I'm always so impressed. I mean, Gary says, Kamal, what is your Twitter handle? Kamal says, thanks, Frank and Dan. Kamal says, nice song, Frank. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what Kamal, you know, we went over last night what his approaches were using 2 different time frames, which is always important, right? And so he came up with a good, solid trading plan. Not every trade works, but you know, the principles of the trading plan were perfect, using the daily as an indicator and things going on in the daily, and then taking trades on the intraday charts based upon what the daily was doing, giving it some wide breathing room so that it doesn't chop you up, right? And again, it back tests. It's not just that he came up with the idea and goes, I think this will work. He's back tested it. And it does have a positive expectancy. I mean, we looked at a bunch of them last night. And then the ultimate there is to put that baby on autopilot. Frank says, glad you liked it, Kamal. Yeah, I loved it too. It's good rockabilly, and it's, you know, it's always cool when you hear a song, you're like, I know that guy, right? Or like in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I know that dude. Remember that? You old guys will remember that. Spicoli. Okay. Well, I've been pretty conservative here. You know, this week the majority of my gains have come from my day trades, not from the swing trades. And the overnight SPY trades been pretty decent too, except for this guy. That was a bad one right there. But the overnight SPY trade has been a champion in the last few months. I mean, it's come back major. I was down big on that one at the beginning of the year, but it has come back major. So right now, with the market being kind of volatile, I feel a little bit more comfortable with doing my my puts, or my spreads that I'm doing. Selling puts on Apple down to 77.50, so it gives me about 30% or so protection. And again, I use multiple time frames to look for indicators and support levels on multiple time frames, and that 77.50 really did line up. Plus 70, it'd be almost a 50% retracement from the high of Apple. So I think the delta's like 3%, meaning that there's really only a 3% chance that we'll get down there. It could, no doubt about it, it could get down there. But I like the chances, and because the volatility picked up, I got paid pretty nice premium to do that. And same with Intel. A little closer, about a 10% protection down there. So sometimes when the market gets volatile, there's certain times to take long positions, there's certain times to stay out of the market, there's certain times, of course, if you want to go short. But in this kind of market where things are real volatile, I like the extra cushion that I get from selling bearish spreads to the upside, or selling bullish spreads to the downside with protection. And that's one of the nice advantages of options. There's certain times where maybe it's just too volatile to take directional trades, but with the cushion and selling premium, the market has different personalities. I mean, in August, of course, the personality was relentlessly up, and then September, the personality has changed, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and so you kind of have to act accordingly also. Dan says, agree, Greg, would be great for people that have problems keeping to the plan. Is that you, Dan? Do you have problems keeping to the plan? Well, I think that's why algorithmic trading has gotten popular, because you just set it and forget it, right? You have to make sure it's coded up correctly, and I guess you have to have some fail-safe mechanism in place in case you want to override it. But Kamal says, I follow Steve and Greg. Gary says, thanks, Kamal. Yes, thanks, Greg, and everyone. Gotta go. Thanks, Yas. Good seeing you, my friend. Okay, well, anybody has any jokes or any other input, please let me know. So I have Kamal in at USO, SSO, Johan out of silver, Evan into NLC, which is Northrop Grumman. I think that's it. All right, who said the VIX was down 10%? Is that true? I see it down 4%, not 6% though. 10%, I mean. What did VIX do here at the end? Woo, bull, strong down. Okay. All right, everybody. I think that's it. Remember, Johan says, thanks for the session and enjoy the weekend. You too, Johan. You too. And I'm looking forward to our next Skype call, with my students when we're done with our lessons. I usually give them about a week or so, and then we do kind of a follow-up just to see how things are going, see if they've implemented what I've taught them and all that kind of stuff. Frank says, if the market is a tornado, that makes us the trailer home. Yeah, I just thought of Dorothy, Wizard of Oz, when you said that, Frank. And thanks again for creating that song. I'm glad we could post it here. You're a man of many talents, Frank. Evan says, have a great weekend. Thanks for streaming as always. You're certainly welcome, Evan. Thank you for coming as always. Okay. Well, leave you off with two things. Like always, please go out and try to do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile, a wave, a hello, hold the door open, hold their coffee. I don't know. Just a nice gesture. If everybody in the world would just do one nice thing for another human being every day, the world would be unbelievably different place. And who knows? Maybe we can get it started here from this channel. Right? Doesn't hurt to try. Right? And then also, if you could try to do something nice for an animal today, just a smile, just a pet or a treat, or give them a little scratch behind the ear, or let them in if it's cold, or take them on a walk, that would be fantastic too. So hope you have a good weekend, everybody. Enjoy, and hope to see you next Monday during the last hour of the market. And if you haven't hit the thumbs up button before you get out here, that would be great as well. Okay, thanks again. Take care. We'll talk to you later now. Have a good weekend. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation, and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.